You, the guy she tells you not to worry about. Okay, so these aren't comparable. Pocket knives are useful for what they are. Fold that up. But anyway, sometimes you just want a giant-ass Bowie knife, which this I kind of did in a Western sort of style. I don't think there's any actual, like, set design for them. Everything I heard, like, we don't even know what the original one looked like. We just kind of started making them based on a loose description. And eventually it kind of became something like this. So this is the first time I've ever done a fuller ground in like that. I've done fullers in the past, but they were always just like straight lines, kind of like what you see on machetes. I was also making machetes, I guess. But I just cut them straight in with an angle grinder. And I guess when I first started blacksmithing, or not first started, but when I was very early on, I'd like grind them with angle grinders. They were super ugly, very uneven. But this is an experiment I did with a 1/2-inch belt sander. I'll kind of explain what I did at the end. Never done it before. There's probably better ways of doing it. I'm sure if there's a professional watching this, they're probably going to be screaming at my technique. But anyway, for what I have lying around, it worked really well. So again, it's wide, but not bad for as, you know, big as the blade is. Again, it has this really pretty decent sized bevels on it. Sorry, been a long day. With a pretty fine edge, so it's really sharp and just goes through it pretty much everything like they're not even there. So nice little knife's got a good balance to it. The handle's a little squarer than I usually make them. I mean, it's got that nice hand shape, but I try to keep it simple. Got hickory scale handles, just brass pins. Nothing fancy, but again, gets the job done as they're meant to do. And again, I think you pretty much do anything you want a big knife to do. So anyway, had a lot of fun making this. Hope you enjoyed watching it, and yeah, thanks for watching.
Okay, so got the blade forged. I already went ahead and just kind of start straightening at the spine so that way I can mark out where I need to get the handle cut, which I'm just gonna do with an angle grinder. Right here, I'm gonna change the that to a cutting wheel. Cut that to where I get a nice and square thing. Refine the shape of the handle, and I'll probably use a belt sander mostly to kind of refine the shape of the blade. And of course go in and grind in my bevels. Yeah, should be a nice knife. Honestly, I wasn't really intending on forging the shape in this much, but it just kind of happened, and I like the way it looked, so I was so sick with it. So this is a bit of an experiment I've never tried. I have a 1/2-inch detail sander here. I'm gonna try and put in like a blood groove or a small fuller, the back of here. Just got it stacked up right and just kind of run it along. Hopefully it works, but I've never tried it. So yeah, bit of an experiment. Hopefully I don't mess the blade up.
Okay, so I got the blade sanded out. The fuller actually went pretty good. Or again, kind of more of a blood groove, I guess. I don't quite know what would be classified in this context. I've heard it called both. I also drilled in some holes. Those are 3/16. That's for some brass pins that are going to go through to hold the handle in place. Then that is, I don't remember the size, but the same size as a 7.62, not a 7.62, 5.56 shell. It's going to go through and then be cut off. That'll work for my lanyard. Now, to make the guard, before I go ahead and heat treat this is a piece of 3/16. Not 3/16, this is 1/4 inch. I do not know why I can't get size right at the moment. But this is a piece of 1/4 inch by 1 inch with a, I want to say these are like 7/16 holes. Anyway, same things as that, drilled in it. I'm just going to take my angle grinder, cut out between these two holes, then file, chisel, forge, whatever I need to do to get it to fit in place. Then once that's done, I'm going to kind of forge these down a little bit and then curl up the edges. So that way, it fits, gives it a nice Western Bowie look.
got my blade all heat treated, tempered, all that fun stuff. Now I've got the handle scales. I have them cut out and drilled. These are just kind of temporarily in place. Got this shell sitting in here. A little loose than I would have liked, but that's fine. What I'm going to do now is just go in, put some JB Weld on here to hold everything together, and get back to you tomorrow after that's dried, and I can, actually work with it.